Hello and welcome to Author Nation. I am Melody and your host. Author Nation takes you from idea to fully published book and beyond. If you have an idea and you want to turn it into a published book, grab your planning checklist. The link is scrolling past you right now. It's authornation.online. Today we're going to be talking about getting the word out once you are a published author, so people can find you, buy your book, build a relationship with you so that you can sell that next book, the course, the program, coaching services, whatever it is that you offer. And my guest is Toni Harris Taylor. She is the award-winning franchise owner of Network in Action Global Partners. NIA Global Partners is an international community of business owners who come together to mastermind, to grow their business, to bring each other warm referrals, and be a supportive community for one another. Toni lives by the mantra of being drastic, and we're going to hear about that today. I'm so excited about that. In her business, Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, she helps clients learn the strategies to get known, get connected, and paid to make six figures and beyond. Toni is an 8-time author, and most recently, her collaboration project, Viral Networking for Drastic Results, achieved Amazon International Best-Selling status in the sales and marketing category. Let's welcome Toni. Hi, Toni. How are you today?
I am doing very well. You can hear me okay? Mic
I
check.
can I can hear you fine.
Uh,
Beautiful. Thank you. So
Thank
one thing I know about you is that you love to travel. So can you just give us a little bit of travel advice as we start out?
Travel often. So I
Yeah.
go somewhere every month, whether it's in driving distance or on a plane. I say all the time, my plane will take me wherever I tell it. So, so go somewhere every month. Build it into the reason we're entrepreneurs is you build it into your schedule. And now with the world being you can work from anywhere, why wouldn't you go somewhere? And so I just love to travel, and I'm leaving Saturday to go take my mom on a trip to Fredericksburg, Texas, which is hill country here. Then I leave next Saturday going to Florida, which is my second favorite place to be. And then one day I'm a schedule to come visit you because up there in Vancouver, Whistler is my favorite place. So
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm going to look forward to you coming because I'd love to meet you in person. I've been to a few events with you and I'd really love to meet you in person. So I'll look forward to that. All right, let's get into the book. So I want to talk about Drastic because how did this book project actually start? It was pretty drastic.
yes. So as you can see over my head, my business coaching is Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching. And I, teach my clients how to get drastic. Well, I can't teach them what I don't know. And so in my business, I am always thinking of something and putting it out there. And that's what happened here. I have an annual conference. It's called the Viral Networking Conference. I say it's annual, but really this is just the second one. I think it doesn't technically become annual until you do the third one. So this coming November, I have my second conference. And so I use the conference to attract my ideal clients into my coaching programs. And on the brochure, I put be a part of the upcoming collaboration book. Yeah, there was no book. It was no book. And I was like, I put it on the brochure, so we have to do it. And my coaching clients are also Network in Action members. And so I said, I have to do it. And let me tell you, I think I have perfected collaboration books. And it was so much fun. And I became an international bestseller in 2 categories. So I don't want us to put marketing and sales together. No, it was international bestseller in the marketing category and the sales category. 2 categories.
Thank you for clarifying that. That's great. How many authors are in the book?
18.
18. And I ask because I was at the book launch and I have to say, 1, you are incredibly generous. And 2, here's a lesson for anyone doing a collaborative book. There was an author who didn't show up And Tony said, oh, so-and-so can't be here today because of this. And here's everything about the person. There's another person who hadn't made it yet. Tony, you knew everything. You knew their job. You knew their position. You knew their company. You knew their vision. You knew their mission. You knew their, you just stood up and you just said, you pitched them. You just said everything about them. And I thought, this is someone who knows every one of those 18 authors deeply,
Well,
not like
and
you, and you weren't reading, it was coming from your heart, right?
I know them.
Yeah.
No, because they're my coaching clients. So we spent
Yeah.
the last year together, and probably most of them I knew prior to them becoming a client. But it's important as a coach to know my clients deeply, not just business, but personally. And then they're also network and action clients as well. So, but I'm a promoter of people. I'm known as the coach that connects. That is my mantra. That's my brand. That's who I'm proud to be, because entrepreneurship, Melody, is not easy, right? And so you need somebody in your corner who's going to hold you up and promote you to other people. And that's my uniqueness, is that I'm not only a teacher of the strategies, I'm in the trenches with you, and I'm opening doors for you and connecting you to people, places, and things you need to grow your business.
Yeah, I really saw that. So I really, really saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us about the book. Now, I'd really love to just give us what is the book about? Who is it for? Who will benefit from it? What might we
Yeah.
learn?
So the book is called Viral Networking for Drastic Results. And if you can see the image on the book, it
Mm-hmm.
is me at the top, and then my networking branching out and touching and growing together. And that's what the book is about. As entrepreneurs, you have a couple of ways you can prospect. You can knock on doors, and I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm not knocking on doors for my business, but you can knock on doors. You can make cold calls, not doing that either. You can run advertisements on social media or in magazines, and who has a budget for that? Or you can network. You can build relationships and learn how to help other people, and then they come back and help you as well. And if everybody is feeding each other, everybody eats. And that's what the book is about. Now, the book is an interview format, which is different. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. It's no patented secret, so I'll share it. And if any of you want to rip off and duplicate, by all means do. So I had a bank of 20 questions. I asked each author the same questions. They answered them in their own way. I recorded them on Zoom. We took the recording and transcribed them. And then that's what became the book. So I didn't have to wait for 18 people to turn in their written stories, because it'd probably still be sitting on the shelf somewhere. It was minimal effort on their part. They probably spent a total of 3 hours contributing to the book.
That's
So
brilliant.
that's, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you and the others authors, how do you come together to make this a success? What are some of the secrets in that regard?
So the collaboration project, the reason you do a collaboration book is because you want to get into the author, the compiler, me, I want to get into their networks. They want to get into my networks. And so that's how we all win in a collaboration project. I highly recommend, and I know a lot of your followers and people in your groups are coaches and speakers and trainers, and they maybe have a similar story. The next book that's coming out that I'm in is about being a widow, two-time widow.
Ooh.
I say I am a black widow, not the black widow. I promise I don't kill husbands, okay? But two-time widow for me. And so that project was a group of widows who came together to tell their story. So
Yeah.
that's how the collaborations work.
Yeah. And that project is very different, isn't it, from what you're doing here? Because, and it's interesting because I sometimes do podcasts and things talking about elder care because I looked after my mom for over 10 years. That's an incredible amount of time for someone to have Alzheimer's. She liked to skew the statistics. And so there's a different level of giving when you're giving to a book about, being a two-time widow versus, viral networking, right? Those are different gifts, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I'm the whole person, right?
Yeah.
So being a two-time widow taught me to be drastic in a different area.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
drastic is who I am, and it's my thread that runs through my life, whether it's personal or so I get to give to multiple communities, and how to take drastic steps to get past whatever circumstance life brings.
Yeah. Why was it important to you? Was this your first collaborative book, first off?
No. So my first one, I have it right here. It's called Strategic Entrepreneurship, the Network in Action Way.
Okay.
And this book is stories of perseverance, dedication, and commitment. This is my first collaborative book. Now,
Okay.
this book came out of the pandemic. So I was 6 months. I had bought my Network in Action. It's a franchise. This group of people were my first group. And when the pandemic hit, I told the franchisor, I got to keep these people engaged. So I'm going to do a book. Now, I had participated in a collaboration book before.
Right.
So I kind of knew what it was like. And I did the same format, question and answer, Zoom, transcription. It was so easy. And this is a profit center, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they pay to be a part of the project, or you build it into the price point of your coaching program. But it actually makes money. So no, that wasn't my first one. This was my second collaboration project.
Yeah. And why have collaboration books become important for you?
Yeah. I've taken every personality assessment, Melody, and every one of them says I'm high relationship. And I believe 18 heads are better than one. And my head by myself is brilliant. I'm smart, but my network is this big. But if I put 18 people on it, it becomes that big. So why wouldn't we collaborate with people who have the same similar stories, similar energy? Because I guarantee you, the people, I'll be attracting more clients out of these people's networks because they will see these people progressing and they'll be like, who is she and how can I help? How can she help me?
Yeah.
So it just is multiple heads, multiple energy, fun. I don't know if you saw the pictures on Facebook. We had a live party on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it was a red party. It was so much fun. And the biggest joy I got was watching them autograph their chapters. And I'm watching them, and people standing by. And that was like, oh my gosh, it just did something to my heart. Because a lot of them are first-time authors, and it just did something to my heart. I know that feeling when people are like, "Can I have your autograph?"
Where's the paparazzi?
Right. And so watching especially my first-time authors sign their books was so fulfilling.
Yeah. And I've come to an event with I went to the book launch, but I've been to another event. And one thing I noticed you did, which I thought was really valuable and something we do in the community as well, is give people a hot seat, right? It's like, what is going on right now? What are you struggling with? Where are you stuck? And, if you think about, you have 18 authors and some books have more, some, if you're bringing them together and start hot seating and start collaborating, there's value in the book itself, but there's also value in bringing that community together, which is something I noticed you do, outside of the book, right? And so kudos to you. What other benefits did the authors have? So they've hit #1 bestseller in 2 categories. They, they work with you. They get into each other's networks. They have opportunities for these virtual meetings where they get hot seats. What is there anything else I'm missing?
Oh yeah. So they get to add it to their bio.
Mm-hmm.
They get to they could speak about networking. They can have instant credibility because they're an author. And many of the people in the book are now partnering and collaborating. So on October 21st, two of the authors are doing their own event. I'm gonna give it a shout. It's called the Wow Project. So Google that, the Wow Project. That's Andrea and Day Smith. They're collaborating to do an event together,
Yeah.
right? Caitlin and Val are partners. Caitlin's branding, Val is writing. They're partners. They're making money together. Diane and Vanessa are partners. All of them met through my network. Well, Diane and Vanessa already knew each other, but they all met through my network.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's the biggest benefit.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I think that's something that a lot of collaboration books miss. I get a lot of invites for collaboration books, and I get a lot of people asking me, please promote I'm looking for authors for my collaboration. I get a lot of that. And when I look at the benefits, what you just talked about is missing. If you're going to bring 24 people together, 18, 36, however many people together, what I see people doing is, here, pay this, give us your chapter, and you'll get, like, I don't know, a shout on Instagram or something like that. But they're not bringing them together and meeting each other and being able to collaborate and work together in joint ventures. And there's so much magic in that. So thank you. You are the networking queen after all.
I am the networking queen. And so I need you to understand how this works. So they either join my coaching program or they're NIA members, or both. Most of them are both. And so they already have been playing together.
Nice.
So the book helps solidify that connection. So my business is to bring business owners together. And, my publisher, who sadly is going to be retiring soon, I know he's made 50 grand from my network because everybody needs a book.
Yep.
And he's going to make even more because all my coaching clients are working on their books now.
Yeah.
So I want to detour, if you don't mind, because I want to give
go right ahead. Absolutely.
Authors. So this book is another collaboration book. There's just two people, me and Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth is an outstanding keynote speaker. And you see, it's a 5x5. Mm-hmm. This book was written in 7 days. 7. I'm going to give you the secret. Okay. The book is called Soar to Success in Sales and Marketing, 78 Tips to Drastic, an acronym, Results. When you open the book, Drastic is an acronym. So I'm going to hold it closer to the camera. Determine your niche. Relationships, accountability, speak to influence, technology, invest, and closing. 10 tips per letter. I got up every morning and wrote 10 tips per letter for 7 days.
Nice.
And each tip is about 100 words. So they're not long. You want a book done?
Nice.
Get up early.
Nice.
Knock out tips. What's your acronym?
Yep. Brilliant.
It's brilliant. And
brilliant.
Easy. And
Thank you, Toni.
Published.
Thank you, Toni. I'm just going to say, Val Vick is watching. Hi, Val. I met Val at one of your events. Book collaborations, the way Toni Harris has done it is awesome. She's a collaborator in the book, isn't she?
She is. You know what? That's my third collaboration book. I forgot about that. So Val was in my second book. You know what? Before we came on air, I said I'm an 8-time author. No, I said 7-time. You said, oh, I have 8 here. There is a book that I don't talk about.
Coming out.
No, it's already out. It's my first book.
Oh, I see.
From a very negative place in my life, so I forget that I wrote it.
Yeah. You know what, Tony, though? You know what? Here's kudos to you for putting something out there. And then, because here's the thing, a lot of people never start because they're not perfect or they're not in the right place, but you did it. That was drastic. Sometimes you got to be drastic. And that's like, thank you. Thank you for thank you for
Yeah.
telling us that.
Yeah.
And for being that, because it's good for you to role model that. We just get your book out there, even if it's, start somewhere, right? Don't wait
Start.
for perfection. Start somewhere. All right. I
Start.
want to talk about networking because you are the networking queen. You run an award-winning networking group. And so how did that happen? What is the secret of this?
So I'm going to give you the short version. So in 2019, I was this close to quitting my business. And I was going to go get a job because I couldn't figure out how to retire from my coaching business.
Hmm.
And I talked to someone in my network who's a coach, and she said, "What's your why?" And I told her, and she's like, "You've already accomplished that. You need a new why." So I came back and I said, "My why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource, I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business." She said, "That's perfect." She said, "Are you doing that?" "Yes." "Are you getting paid to do it?" "Well, that's a whole nother question, Melody. What would you need to do to get paid to connect people?" I said, "I need to start my own networking group." She said, "Why don't you?" I said, "Absolutely not. I've seen too many people run networking groups, not making any money. I don't know what to charge. I don't have technology. I don't want to start from scratch. No." She said, "Tony, don't worry about the how. It will show up." Well, 3 months earlier, I went to a women's retreat, which was a small group. And a lady that was there was a network and action franchise owner. She followed up with me 1 week after the conversation with the coach and said, you need to be a network and action franchise owner." I was like, "I just said a week ago, no way. And here you are with franchise. Just meet the franchisor." And I did. And I was already a connector of people. I just wasn't making money at it. I didn't know have a system for it. And he had everything I said I didn't have. Even he told me, "You can make six figures doing this." I can make six figures connecting people? Sign me up, man. He signed me up. I am his rookie of the year, brand ambassador, first to launch a virtual groups, first to launch an international group. And I love, because here's the thing, entrepreneurship is hard. In case y'all didn't know, entrepreneurship is hard. And if you're doing it by yourself, especially home based, you gotta have community. Otherwise, you will get lonely and go back to a job.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. So authors, let's talk about authors and networking because authors often think, okay, I've got a book, it's in the store. And, I'm always telling, look, authors are better in community. Authors are better when we're collaborating. Authors are better when we're working together. And so can you sing that song for me, Tony?
Absolutely. Writing the book is the easy part.
Yeah.
Marketing it is, you know, entrepreneurship, period, author or whatever you're doing. Nobody told you that you had to be brilliant marketers and salespeople.
Yeah.
And so the book, writing the book is, how do you going to get the book to the world? Just putting it on the shelf with a pretty cover is not going to sell a bunch of books. You cannot pay a house note with books. All right. Not one house note with a bunch of books. So you have got to learn how to market and sell. Speaking is a great way to get your book out there.
Yeah.
Networking is a great way. And really books should be companions to the bigger things that you do.
Yeah. 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 Give us your top 3 networking tips for authors. What would
Yes.
be the top 3 for authors? Think, some of them have a business behind them. Some of them you have 5 books or 6 books. What are your top tips?
So my top tip is show up. So my saying is show up, be up, follow up to blow up. There they are. Show
Yeah.
up, be up, follow up to blow. So what does it mean to show up? When you're on a virtual call, let's go there because there's so many of these meetings now are virtual. When you're on a virtual call, have a picture of your book in your background. If we are on widescreen, you'd see I have 7 books on my shelf right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Put it in your signature of your email. Put a link to your book in there. Talk about what's in the book. Right?
Yeah.
Talk about what's in the book.
Yeah.
So that's the first tip. The second tip is carry your books with you. Always be ready. You know, people ask me about buying from Amazon. That's convenient, but I want to make the money.
Right.
So always have your books with you. Be prepared. So the B up is to be prepared. Have them with you. Introduce yourself and put author in your introduction, right? People are always curious and very admirable about people who are authors. And then follow up. Follow up. One of the networking tips you can do is gift the book to the leader of the network. Gift the book to the leader so they can say something about who you are and what you do and hold your book up. And that's my style, though. I promote everybody. So if you ever in a room with me, just give me one of your books and I'm going to tell everybody to buy, unless it's something I don't believe in. But I'm going to tell everybody
Fair
to
enough.
buy it. So gift the leader, the president or the center of influence, gift them a book. It only costs you $4 or $5. So then they can take a picture, social media, take a picture with the book. I saw yesterday, I was with some at a conference and the guy was speaking. He was a multi-author. He picked up one of your books. He said, now get your cameras out. He said, and open your camera, get your phones out, open your camera. And he cheesed and snapped and snapped. Now post that.
Yeah.
and trust me, people posted it.
Yeah.
So you can get creative.
And so here's the question. So I noticed that a lot of times people follow up is scary. It's scary to say, take out your camera and let's take a picture together, post it on social media. So it's more than, that follow up. There's more to it than just showing up. There's a courageousness to it that, or, getting used to, putting yourself out there, risking, right? So can you just speak a little bit to that?
Yeah. So that's my brand. It's in the word, Drastic. You got to get out. If you truly believe what you put in a book is valuable information and you don't tell anybody about it, first of all, you wasted your time and your energy. But second of all, you're thinking about you and how it makes you feel versus the people who are going to read it and it's going to change their life.
Yeah.
Take you out of the equation. It ain't your business and your book ain't about you. Yeah. It's about the people you wrote it for. And you're doing them a disservice if you truly believe that it's value in the book. So you have to grow courage if you're going to be an author. You have to be courageous. And I don't want to hear, I hear all the time, but I'm an introvert. So you're going to let all the extroverts make money. While you sit back and talk about I'm an introvert, whatever. Yeah. Introverts make money, all right? You just have to be situationally drastic, right? Because thank you, Val, not about you. It is not about you. The more people that you can serve through what you have written, the better. So it takes courage. And here's the other thing I will say, Melody, and this might sound self-serving, but I'm not the only coach in the world. Get you a coach. Your coach gives you courage. Yeah. Coaches give you courage. Yeah. Paying for coaching gives you courage because you done spent this money and you better get it back. Yeah. And so you have to step out your comfort zone to get your money back.
Yeah. 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 And it's interesting when you say, it's not about you. And thank you, Val, # not about you. Some authors, when we talk about making money, they're like, oh, I don't want to make money. I don't want to make money. I just want to help people. I just want to, change people. And it's interesting because they're not putting themselves out there because they're saying it's not about me. But if it isn't about you, if it really is about changing the people you meet, changing the people who buy the book, don't you have to go out and tell people there's a book that can change their lives?
Absolutely. And listen, you can't write a book. You pay for the book. People have to get a money mindset. And that's drastic, especially if you're trying to help people. But people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. Period.
Yeah.
I sign up for an event for free. I may or may not go. I'm just saying. But if I put some money on it, I'm going.
Yeah.
So you are doing people a disservice by not charging them because they won't read it if you just give it to them because you don't have any value on it.
Yeah.
Drop
exactly.
the mic. If you don't put no value on it, why would they? They'll take it and it'll go on the shelf. So if I pay $20 for it, I'm gonna open it up. At least I may not read it cover to cover, but I'm gonna open that book.
Yeah. Yeah, we read what, 30% of books? Generally, we get through about 30% of a book. So put the important information at the beginning, I say.
Yes.
So let's talk about speaking if you have a book. Because I know you have, I'm just going to put it up here. Tony has a conference coming up, the viralnetworkingconference.com. And you invite people to come speak. Some of them are authors. Why should authors be speaking?
Absolutely. How else are you going to get the book out there? Just putting a book on a table does not move books. People want to hear your expertise. They need to hear your heart. Why did you take time to put what you put in the book? Especially if it's a novel, that's different. But even at that, what's it take to get a novel out? What's it take to develop characters? What's it take to do scenes? Speaking is a way for people to get closer to you so that they will want to open the book. So, but speaking also can lead you down other paths. Speaking and networking are the two marketing strategies that give over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're on stage, because you do a lot of stage and you have books, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to get on stage and sell a book. And I'm like, well, you're not selling the book, right? You're selling the ideas. So when you're at a conference and you're speaking and you've got books at the back of the room, what are you talking about on stage?
Well, my expertise, which is networking or speaking or connecting with people, which will attract them to the book. But I am trying something new tomorrow.
Oh, do tell.
I actually did write a talk totally based on my book. The talk is called Viral Networking for Drastic Results. And I am taking experts, and you'll love this because you already said you love that I promote people. And so what I'm doing is picking certain authors that I know are going to be in the audience to talk about their responses to the question. Val will be there tomorrow. And so because what I'm doing in that is I want them to see it's not just my opinion, it's other entrepreneurs that are just like them telling them how to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. And that's another example of how, when we're talking about your book and I'm at your events and I'm watching you launch this book, it's so different than what I see a lot of the collaborative books do. You're going to be speaking, but you're also going to be bringing those authors. And so having collaborative book is about raising everyone gets raised, right? Everyone is lifted. So that's amazing.
Yes.
I want to talk about follow-up because I think that's somewhere where people get stuck. It's like, okay, I met someone, I gave them a book or I got an email and now I'm back at home and I just have this pile of cards over here. And, so what do you do when you meet someone? And I know part of this because we've met and we've been, but what do you do? Or maybe in the event, what do you do? Let's start there.
So this is my favorite question because I hate follow-up, right? I hate follow-up just like everybody else. And so Melody can tell you, I book events on the spot.
Yeah.
She and I met on a virtual call. When I heard who she was, I sent her a private chat. Here's my link. Get on my calendar. She clicked the link. Before I leave every event, virtual or in person, I have 3 to 5 appointments every time. Because I'm not going to just be showing up, and I'm certainly not going to give them my book and not have a connection call with them.
Yeah.
So I invite people to get on my calendar on the spot, not later. Not I'm gonna call you. Not I'm gonna email you. We gonna get together someday, somehow, some way, because none of that happens.
Yeah.
Book it on the spot. So, Melody, thank you for purchasing my book, because I'm not giving you my book unless you're somebody I need to know. So thank you for purchasing my book. I'm all about making connections for people, and you're an author and you help authors, and I love making connections. Would you be open to getting on my calendar and let's have a little 30-minute Zoom to see how we can help each other? Yeah. Who's going to say no to see how we can help each other?
Yeah. 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 And to be clear with everyone, when that happened, we were in an event and you sent me a message and I said, yeah, absolutely. And I booked something. The see if we can help each other was an honest to see if we can help each other. So if you say to people, let's see if we can help each other, and then you get on a call and all you do is pitch them, you aren't building relationships, right? And so people are scared. It's like, oh, I have to get on this call. It means I have to sell something. And it's like, no, let's just get to know one another. Let's see what you're doing. What are your goals?
And so you got to learn how to describe what you do so that if the person on the other end needs what you do, they'll say, oh, I need some of that.
Yeah.
But you got to be really skilled at describing. And that's something you're going to learn at the conference. So I hope that the watchers will show up to the conference virtually or in person. It's in Houston, November 2nd through 4th. But yeah, you want to be genuine. And I'm all about, I have right now, I just wrote down 5 people I have to connect to each other. Mm-hmm. At lunch today, I had lunch with 3 business owners that I knew they needed to network together. Being a part of my network, you will make money because people trust me and they know that when I say y'all need to connect, something magical is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. How many meetings do you do a week?
I only do one a month. Network in Action.
Yeah. No, I meant like these one-on-one.
Oh, I do quite a bit. I will say at least 6 to 10 a week at 30 minutes a piece. Yeah. My calendar is full of them. Yeah. But remember, I'm the owner of a network. So part of what I do is not only to invite people to become a part of my network, but I've got to meet you so I can introduce you to somebody you can help in my network. So I do about 10 one-to-ones a week, and I'm a beast about it. And then after the one-to-one, so let's talk about that. Yeah. How do you stay connected, right? So I invited Melody. We had a one-to-one 2 weeks ago. I invited her to come to my book launch Friday. So she came Friday. Then yesterday, she came to my networking group. Today, you think we friends now? Not everybody don't get to my time like this. Everybody, I'm very selective who I invite to my network. But when she's shown up for me 3 times, I know she's a serious business owner. Which, by the way, when you book these one-to-ones, don't stand people up. It's rude. And nobody is trusting that if I send you a referral, you're going to send somebody up. I'm not sending you nothing.
Yeah, that happens.
Rarely does it happen with me because you've seen it. My systems are relentless at reminders.
Yeah.
But it does happen. And then what?
That's
if you can't make it, click the reschedule link. Yeah.
Yeah. And so just to clarify for people, you don't have to have 6 to 10 meetings if, Toni owns the network. But, go to a meeting, you go networking, make 3 appointments, meet people. Not everyone is going to buy your book, but they might know somebody or they might introduce you to a podcast. And these are questions I ask. It's like, hey, have you been on any podcasts recently that might suit me. And I've been on a podcast that might suit you. There are lots of ways we can help each other, right, Toni?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, absolutely.
Yeah. And talking about that, tell us about the conference. I really want to hear about the conference. It is live. Is it live in
It's
Houston?
in person in Houston and virtual.
Okay.
So
Both. Oh, we can go even if we're in Canada. Awesome.
yeah, so it's virtual as well. I had my first Canadian. I had a Canadian registration yesterday and Saudi Arabia today. International. I ain't playing. Come on now. The gift that the pandemic gave us is international relationships.
Yeah.
And so the conference, it's to learn marketing strategies. So you will hear from my speakers. I have Larry Tucker, who is an automation expert and virtual assistant expert. So he is a speaker. Sheila, she's going to tell you how to go viral with video. So Sheila Collins, she's a realtor who built her business on video. We have Diane Bowdery, who helps women to have a community. It's called the Stay Hungry Club, and also make sure whether they're corporate or entrepreneurs that they're living their best life and that they have multiple streams of income. So she helps coach them on that. Then I have Eva Medelik, and I'm excited. Eva's going to talk about success without sacrifice. She's one of the first speakers on the first day because we got to get our mindset right around our network. Then I have Mr. Scott Bigley. Once you make money, what you going to do with it? So he's a financial advisor to tell us how to make more money. And then I have Ann Lopez, who is a content creator. How can you have attractive content to get people to buy your book and your services? So that's the lineup. It is a 2.5-day event, but it's phenomenal. You're going to love it. Your people are going to love it. And everybody leaves my event with appointments. Everybody.
Nice.
So even if you're online, we put you in breakout rooms, and I mandate nobody leaves my conference without connection appointments. I hate going to conferences and events where people are just passing out business cards. So who cares? That doesn't build a relationship. So I mandate, don't come to my conference, and clear your calendar the week after. Have, some slots available so you can fill them in with appointments to build relationships.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. That sounds like a really great lineup of speakers. And I'm sure you have more. 2.5 days. That's a good amount of time. And it is Houston time. Yes. So if you're in Saudi Arabia, you might have to get up early.
Stay up late. They're 8 hours after me.
Oh, stay up late. Okay. Stay up late.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, Toni, have we missed anything that's really, really important? Have I failed to ask you a question that I should have, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that we covered all of my passion. I want to see your authors at my conference because you got to show up and you got to be in it to win it. Yes. And Zig Ziglar says you can have everything you want when you help enough people get what they want. Yeah. And so if you don't have what you want, are you helping enough people?
I think that's a really great quote to end on. Toni, thank you so much for coming today and sharing with us. I really love connecting with you, and this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you for your expertise and your joy. It's your joy to interview. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Dan, thank you for joining us today at Author Nation. We're here to provide you a path from idea to published book. And join us because it's really great to be around like-minded people while you're working on a project. And that's what we do here. So join us at Author Nation. And join us next week as well, because I'll be talking to Kristen Spencer. We'll be talking about building your storytelling powers. We will see you then.